Come on in, everyone. Come on in, because we are back for Love is Blind UK. We are on episode 5. Episode 5 only, y'all. That's as far as I've watched. Please don't spoil it for me down in the comments. Don't spoil it for anyone else. We are only on episode 5. And the disrespect, the disrespect that went on in this episode between Ali and Catherine, the disrespect. We're going to have to talk about it, y'all. We're going to have to talk about it. Before we get that far into this beach party where it all went down, we first got to catch up. And we got to talk about how Benaya said yes. Benaya said yes. Benaya said, Nicole, I forgive you. Nicole, I forgive you. We saw Nicole. We saw Benaya. And Nicole went on an apology tour. She said, you know what? I'm going to follow my sword. I'm going to say that I'm sorry. I made a bad decision. You know what, Benaya? You changed my life. All of it. She fell on her sword. She was ready to, if she could have, she would have proposed to Benaya. I'm sure she was ready to propose to Benaya herself. But she was sorry. She said she knew right away it wasn't right with that Sam fella. She said the minute I saw him, keyword is saw him, S-A-W, I knew it wasn't right. She didn't know beforehand. She knew it the minute that she saw him that he wasn't right. Now, I don't know if y'all watched my very first episode when I was reviewing the trailer, but Nicole was on the trailer. And Nicole's little blurb for that little 1-minute trailer was talking about how she wanted someone that was healthy and lived a healthy lifestyle. And at the time I told everyone, I thought that was a bit shallow. And that's not a cornerstone of marriage. I didn't say that it doesn't have to be important to her. I just felt it wasn't a cornerstone of marriage. And I'm going to tell you right now that the way that Nicole makes decisions, I'm saying right now, a lot of it is superficial. Just like I said when I saw that trailer, I said, that's not a cornerstone of marriage. Nobody is getting divorced from someone because they eat pork or you're not a vegan or all these other things. No, that's not the cause of divorce. When you're looking to get married, you want to have foundational things that will hold your marriage together. And I've never seen any divorce papers that say irreconcilable differences over the fact of what you eat. I don't think it exists. But one thing we know about Nicole is she is a bit shallow, y'all. I know a lot of people out there don't want to admit it. I know they don't want to admit it, but I'm going to say it. It's true. Because when she saw Benaya, she was very pleased with what she saw in the looks. And I think that's what sold her. If Benaya had not been handsome to you, Nicole would not have wanted to marry him. Because even when she met all the young ladies, she said, oh, I was so nervous because, you're not going to know what he's going to look like. Is he going to be? There she goes, brings it up again. Looks. She said that the reason why she chose Sam was because Sam was emotionally available. Basically, she was saying that Sam was pouring into her, begging her, telling her all the right things, but she wasn't looking at anything below the surface. This is why I'm telling you I believe Nicole is surfacey. Because if she had just peeked just a little bit below the surface of Sam, she would have seen all the muck. And she felt that Sam wasn't emotionally available. She felt that Sam was emotionally available, but she said Benaya at that time wasn't emotionally available. But all of a sudden, once Benaya saw that she chose Sam, he all of a sudden got emotionally available. Okay, if you want to say so. But if you peek below Benaya, I would say, when was the last time Benaya said he was in a relationship? Wasn't it a long time? Something like 10 or 12 years. Benaya doesn't even have really a place to live. I'm not even sure if Benaiah actually has a long-term full-time job. He keeps talking about how he just lives where he works. It sounds sort of vagabondish. It really does. So I think Benaiah is a nice guy. I think he's sweet. I think he's kind. And when I saw the two of them together on the screen, I could even say I saw the chemistry between them. I absolutely saw the chemistry between them. Nicole is so happy. Benaiah is so happy. But what I wonder is the connection surface level. Once Nicole starts peeking behind or a few layers below Benaiah, will they actually be compatible? Or is Nicole just happy the fact that she has a guy that she thinks is cute, and as she says, "Ooh, you look like Bob Marley." Girl, he does not look like Bob Marley. What? Because his hair is long? What is she talking about? Nicole is so fixated on the way that Benaiah looks and the way that Sam didn't look. Is he a healthy eater? That I feel like she's missing looking at some of the real deeper things to make sure that they're compatible. I can see these two getting married, y'all. I'm not going to lie. I can see them getting married because I think that what Nicole will need to discover about Benaiah, she's not going to discover it in 4 weeks. Isn't that how long they have to date? I think they have 4 weeks to date. And here's what I think of Benaiah. I think that Benaiah is slow to commit. It was one of the reasons why he wasn't ready to move as fast as Nicole even in this process. Like I said, I think Benaiah is a nice guy. But when I look at Benaiah's life, it is not a life of commitment. Most of the parts of his life shows that he delays commitment. And it's not until he's pushed that he will make a decision. So what it really took for Benaiah to get down on one knee and propose to Nicole was for Nicole to say, "That's fine, I'll leave you." Y'all ever been with a man in order to get him to step up, do something right, you would have to threaten him? Girl, I told him I was going to divorce him or I was going to break up with him. Now he's on his best behavior. Because really what he's trying to do is to prevent you from leaving. But we all know what happens, that sort of dynamics, it doesn't last long. Because it's really not in the soul of that man. He doesn't really want to do it. He's just doing it because he doesn't want to lose you. So what ends up happening is you end up getting this same pattern. In order to get that man to act right or do right or whatever it is you want from him, in order for you to get that from him, you always got to go to the threats. I'm going to leave you. I'm going to divorce you. Then he acts right. But then he only acts right for a little bit of time, and then he's right back to his old ways. You see, Benaiah only proposed to Nicole after she said, "That's fine. You don't want to commit to me. You don't want to give me what I want. And then I'm going to leave you." And Benaiah has a problem committing. It just shows in the history, his portfolio, his history shows he isn't a person to commit. It doesn't mean that he's not a nice guy. It doesn't mean that he's not a wonderful guy. But what it tells me is you might have to always be the one dragging Benaiah to wherever it is you want him to be. And as long as you're willing to do that and wait on that, then I guess you could have a happy marriage. I guess you can have a happy marriage. So it depends on Nicole. Because right now, I do see that they have this chemistry. I do see that they seem like they are enjoying each other. Even when they showed up to Greece, he was so happy. She was so happy. And all she could tell the ladies is, "Oh yeah, I was nervous because I didn't know what he was going to look like." Girl. I don't know what the cause of Nicole's first marriage was. I really don't know what it was. But I get the impression that whatever man she was married with, he didn't give her the love and attention that she wanted. Because what I noticed about Nicole is that becomes more of what she's looking for, as opposed to evaluating the man and does he have the things that she really wants. What her biggest interest tends to be is how much interest is that man showing in her. That's why she went with Sam. She only went with Sam because Sam was showing the most interest in her. It wasn't because Sam was the right man for the job. It was just that, you know what? Sam showed up. He was there. And so she said, that's what I want. I want a man who chooses me. And because Benaiah at the time was not committing to her, he wasn't the person. But even in the choice between Benaiah and Sam, Benaiah was always the better choice for her. Do I think either one of them are completely right? No. But of the two, he was absolutely the better choice for her. And the reason why she chose Sam was because Sam was saying all the right things. She didn't really want to look below the surface of either one of them. She really didn't want to look below the surface. But I'm happy for them. I hope they make it. Because one thing about me is, like I told everybody here, I love love. I love to see love win. And right now, watching these two on the screen, I can see them getting married. I can absolutely see them getting married. But I'm pretty sure that along that journey of marriage, it is going to have to be Nicole, who moves Benaiah along. Because Benaiah is chill. Very, very chill. And she's going to have to be the one to always push the envelope, because I think Benaiah is slow, very, very slow to move, decide, and do anything with any level of commitment or permanency. And we talk about somebody else who ain't ready to commit. Ali is not ready to commit to Demi. I don't care what this man keeps saying. His lips are moving. But his feet, his body language, everything else is in a whole completely different place. Once again, no sex. From the man who said, all my previous relationships were based on sex. All of a sudden now, he has enough willpower not to have sex with the woman he says he's in love with. Okay, so you mean to tell me, Ali, that for all these years, 30-something years, however long, however old you are, you have always jumped the gun on sex, always had sex. Now, and this was before you had an emotional connection. Now you tell me you already have emotional connection. You told us you have an emotional connection. You're engaged to a woman. You're in this beautiful Corfu, Greece. But all of a sudden, Ali, you have enough self-control over this woman you're completely attracted to not have sex and have all of these PG rated G nights. Okay, Ali, if you want me to believe that, I'm sorry. I'm not believing it. I'm not believing it. You know, he keeps trying to convince Demi that her intuition that something's not wrong is not right. She keeps trying to convince him, hey, Demi, I don't know why you're feeling this. You're wrong. You're wrong. Demi's like, I know what I see. I know what I hear. I know something's off. And all along the way, Ali is telling her, nope, you're wrong. You're the best woman for me. I love you. Blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. But Demi knows what she knows, and Demi knows what she sees, and she needs to follow her gut. Because don't let his lips lie to you, Demi. Because his lips and his feet and his body language are saying completely different things. But you know, like I said before about Demi, she never really wants to be all the way honest. Even when they were sitting down and having that conversation, they were getting ready for this beach party when they were going to see everyone. And Demi said, yeah, I can't wait to see all the girls. Maria, Jasmine. And she says, oh yeah, who else am I missing? Girl. Who else are you missing? Well, Ollie was right there to remind her. Ollie was right there to remind her, girl, you missing Catherine. And Demi said, oh yeah, her. Demi was like, oh yeah, her, that girl. Girl, I thought you, Demi, and Catherine were thick as thieves. Best friends. What's wrong? You went from being this girl's best friend in the pods, Demi, to now all of a sudden you can't remember her name. I told y'all, Demi be, girl, Demi. How the heck could you forget Catherine's name? You didn't forget her name. And let me understand, why are you now mad at Catherine? Because the way this all went down was you were in the pods telling Catherine you didn't really like Ollie. You were like, oh yeah, or it's okay, we're cool. Well, you didn't say you didn't like him. You tried to downplay it. Oh, we're cool. Then when Catherine said, that's good, I'm going to switch on over here to Freddie. Why are you mad at Catherine? Why are you forgetting her name all of a sudden? Why are you trying to pretend like, oh, yeah, that girl. Demi girl. She said, well, I don't really want to think about her. I just want to focus on my drinks right now. She realized that she's off camera. She said Catherine looks a whole lot different than she does. And she's just afraid that Catherine might have the look that Ollie wants. You think? I think you're right. I know a lot of people don't think that Ollie's disconnect with Demi is strictly over her appearance. And most of us believe that Demi's good looking. I think she's a very pretty girl. I do. But my opinion isn't based on my opinion because I'm not dating Demi. I'm not marrying Demi. I'm basing my opinion on why Ollie's not attracted to her based on what I believe about him. Not me. And what I believe is that Ollie is shallow. And I don't think it's just the lack of confidence that Demi has. I do believe it's also because I don't believe that Demi has the look. Demi doesn't have the look that Ollie likes. Because let me tell you something. If Demi were insecure, but Ollie liked the way she looked, he would sleep with her. He would absolutely sleep with her. So he's not sleeping with her because he feels she's insecure. He's not sleeping with her because he's not attracted to her. And the attraction is more than feeling as if she's insecure. No, I know that's convenient for everyone to try to tell that story, but I don't believe it. I don't believe that he is physically attracted to Demi, and it showed up at that beach party. It really, really did. Now, before they get to this beach party, because we're going to talk about that, we had to see the couple of Catherine and the Tom Ford model, Freddie. Freddie, you in danger, Freddie. You are in danger because let me tell you, the show that Catherine put on at that beach party, you're in danger. You better watch out for. And let me tell you something. I believe that Catherine is absolutely intimidated by the looks of Mr. Freddie. Fine Freddie. She's intimidated. She's intimidated by his looks because she constantly has to talk about it. Constantly. Every time this man does anything, she's got to reference her looks. She's bothered by it. And let me tell you something. That little act that she put on at that beach party, all that stuff she was doing with Ollie, I actually don't believe that she even really wants Ollie that much. I saw their interaction. I'm going to talk about it even further. I think it was all one, just like Freddie told her, ego, and also to make Freddie jealous. Because Miss Catherine feels she doesn't have the upper hand with Freddie. I'm telling you, she's shook by his looks. And she's trying to gain back her power because I think Catherine is used to having power in a relationship. She is the queen of flirting. She knows how to do it. She knows how to lure men in. And I believe she is shook by Freddie's good looks. And I believe that act she put on at that beach party was in part to get a little leverage over Mr. Freddie, fine Freddie. And let me tell you something. I was really surprised at Freddie. Freddie reminds me of someone who didn't wake up like this. Freddie reminds me of a person who got fine later in life. Freddie doesn't strike me as the person that's been fine all his life. He reminds me, because one thing I think about Freddie is I think Freddie is sweet, he is nice, he is cordial, he is thoughtful. And something about Freddie, also I see a little bit of insecurity with Freddie. When Catherine was putting on her act at the beach party, like I said, we're going to talk about it even more. I saw parts of Freddie that looked very insecure and unsettled. I understand that he didn't want his woman doing what he was doing, but I saw this part of Freddie that looked insecure. And I thought to myself, if a man is this good looking all his life, does he show up like this? Freddie reminds me of a person that when they were younger, they were not as good looking as they are now. You ever meet someone that in middle school, high school, they were not the best looking? Maybe they wore braces, or they had pimples, or, they had bad, people tell you or they were overweight. You hear these stories about people in middle school and high school, and they talk about, oh, I was very overweight, or, I had pimples, or I had braces, or I was awkward looking. Sometimes people talk about how tall they were. They were, lanky, and they didn't know how to control their limbs. Some people talk about just different things. These things that people picked up on about them and were cruel about when they were young in middle school and high school. And what that did was it sort of shaped their mind of the way they looked at themselves. They started to look at themselves the way these people treated them. So these people treated them horribly, so they thought about themselves that way. Then you fast forward to now when you meet them, because remember, you didn't know them in middle school, you didn't know them in high school, but now you're meeting them and they're in their 30s or whatever. You're like, oh my gosh, you're gorgeous. But they show up in the world the same way as if when they were that high school student. Even though you're looking at them now as this gorgeous person, their mindset, the way they see themselves, is still kind of stuck back when they were in high school. That's what Freddie reminds me of. I said last week, I thought he was such a humble person. And I'm not saying that every good-looking person has to be arrogant. But I just see this part of Freddie that almost makes me think, did Freddie wake up like this? Or did Freddie become this? Did Freddie get into fitness because at one time he wasn't into fitness? He was out of shape. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But there was this nervousness to Freddie that I felt, wow, he's really nervous with Catherine, with Ollie. Oftentimes he's always asking for Catherine for validation. And you would think this is odd because a person who looks like Freddie I would think gets constant validation on how handsome he is, right? So there's something about Freddie, I'm still piecing it together, that is reminding me of something else is going outside, because Freddie picked up on Catherine that the only reason she wanted to confront Ollie was because of pride. It was because of pride. And Freddie was correct on that. He was correct in that her ego wanted to confront Ollie. That's why I don't think that whole meetup was because she really wanted to maybe connect with Ollie. Part of me thinks Catherine was also trying to make Freddie jealous. And I think what I've picked up on Freddie, Catherine has picked up on it. I think what I have picked up on, Catherine had picked up on. And she was trying to get the upper hand on Freddie. And by flirting with Ollie as she did, I think she was trying to take a bit of her power back. I absolutely do. I absolutely do. But you know who's picking up on it out here in the world? Bobby and Jasmine. I tell you, that Jasmine and that Bobby, they well suited for each other because they picking up on everything. They are watching everyone. I told you Jasmine was watching, but the way these two are pillow talking, and Jasmine's making it clear, don't try none of that with me, Bobby, because it ain't going to be the same outcome. Jasmine is saying, don't try none of that with me because it ain't going to go over that way. Not at all. Not at all. And then before we get to, we still going to talk about this beach party. But before we got to the beach party, we had Sabrina and Steven with the Speedos. Steven with the Speedos and Sabrina with the one piece. That don't look like it goes together. The Speedo guy and the girl in the one piece, it don't look like it go together. But okay, we're going to keep trying. The gym owner. Seemed like a mismatch there. And then we have Marie and Tom still going strong. But it was Tom who picked up on that lie that Ollie told. Tom was the one that said, yeah, Ollie came back to the clubhouse, the lounge, talking about he was the one that jumped Catherine, and it wasn't true. Tom was the one that had to expose him just as well, saying, he was fronting. He was absolutely fronting, saying the story that Catherine told and the story that Ollie told are two different stories. But I'm going to say this about Tom. He sure loves to crush on Fine Freddie, because the minute Freddie showed up at that beach party, Tom was like, oh my God. Tom was like, oh my God, you two are beautiful together. You two are beautiful together. And then Steven was over there talking about, oh, Jasmine, you are gorgeous. Gorgeous? Okay, Steven with the Speedos and Sabrina with the one piece. Steven over there running around telling Jasmine how gorgeous she is. Nope. Too soon, Steven. Too soon. Too soon. To be calling some other woman gorgeous. I ain't heard you call your own wife gorgeous. Nope. Too soon for me. Too soon for me. But the minute Ollie saw Catherine and Freddie, Fine Freddie, walk into that beach party, he did what he always does. He hung that head low. He hung it low. He hung it low because one thing he said was, damn. Damn, damn, damn. Because guess what the two things he saw? One, he saw Catherine and he liked what he saw. And he saw Freddie and he said, dang. Even Demi had to say, he is chiseled. That's right. He's chiseled, Demi. Just like Catherine said, a cheese grater. He is a cheese grater. Ollie's look said it all. He was thinking, oh, I definitely lost. I have definitely lost to Freddie. But guess what? Catherine gave him a glimmer of hope. Glimmer of hope. And when I talk about the disrespect that went on at this beach party, the first disrespect was when Ollie shoved Freddie out the way. Did y'all see it? Did y'all see it? If you didn't see it, I want you to rewind your Netflix video. I want you to go back to when Catherine and Freddie walked into the beach party. I want you to see when Ollie pushed aside Freddie to get to Catherine. And Freddie says, oh, I'm sorry. So here you have a man, Ollie, pushing aside Freddie to get to Freddie's fiance, to give Freddie's fiance a hug, and Freddie says, oh, I'm sorry. No, Freddie. Absolutely not. That was the first disrespect I saw. And what I didn't like was Freddie allowed it. Freddie allowed it. Freddie apologized to Ollie for being in his way so Ollie could get to his woman. I'm telling you, I'm seeing something in Freddie, y'all, that tells me Freddie didn't wake up like this. Freddie got here some kind of way, and I want to know who is living inside of Freddie's fine body. Because the outside, the confidence of the outside does not match the inside of Freddie. And I want to know, did the outside of Freddie get here later in life versus he woke up like that? I really want to know, because it ain't adding up to me. It is not adding up to me. And you know, when Ollie saw Catherine, he says, yep, she's a very pretty girl. She looks pretty much like I thought she would look. Hee hee, hee hee hee. Boy, get out of here. Get out of here. Everybody else is all hugged up. Sabrina and Steven are all hugged up. Everybody's hugged up. And but we don't see no hugging up, no PDA, none of that going on with Ollie and Demi. You know, so they're at this beach party, and Catherine, one is she can't wait to go around and tell everybody that, no, he didn't dump me, I dumped him. And even though her man really don't want her to be getting involved in this, she needs to do it for her own ego, for her own pride. She's got to confront him. So Freddie says, you know what, Catherine, do you want to go and pull Ollie to the side and talk and have a civil conversation and get this off your chest? Absolutely, she does. She absolutely wants to do it. Because one is, she wants the world to know, because of her ego and her pride, that no, I didn't get dumped. I dumped you. And secondly, I believe she also has another dog in this fight, and that I think she wants to make Freddie jealous, because I think she wants the upper hand back. And she says, you know what? Yeah, I want to do it because I don't want people to think that I'm lying. Girl. First of all, no one was believing Ollie once they heard the other side of the story. They were already believing you. So you actually had nothing to prove. You had nothing to prove, but you wanted to confront him. So she goes over there. So Catherine goes over there and meets with Mr. Ollie and says, you know, hey, it got back to me that in the lounge, you try to act like you broke up with me. You know, and I was trying to be respectful of you. I was trying to let you down easy. And now to hear you went over here and told a whole different story. That ain't right. That ain't right. And then what does Ollie do? The one that knows how to say one thing out his mouth, but then do something different with his feet. He says, well, I don't remember saying none of that. Boy, he says, I don't even remember if I lied. He said, the way I remember is I was going to break up with you. Then you beat me to it. And then I was just relieved that you kind of felt the same way I did. So the way I saw it was, yeah, I still kind of did break up with you. But I was relieved. He said, but I apologize if I didn't convey that to the other people that way. You know you didn't convey it that way because once again, your own ego went back to the men's lounge and you lied because you didn't want to tell the men that Catherine dumped you. You wanted to do what you did. Once again, we got Mr. Ollie, who's a liar. Just like every time he dropped that head, but then says, yeah, I'm attracted to you. Boy. Unbelievable. And Jasmine is over here talking to Demi, trying to keep Demi cool, calm, and collected while this conversation is going on. And Jasmine says, how you doing? Are you bothered by this? And what does Demi do? A lie again. No, I'm cool. I'm cool with it. Girl, you are not cool with it. You are not cool with it. I don't know why this girl can't speak her truth. I don't know why she can't speak her truth. You're not cool with it. She is so insecure in front of him, but yet she tries to act so tough, like she's so unbothered. It's the same act she pulled when Catherine was interested in Ollie back in the past. She tries to act like she's so unbothered, like she's so tough, but she really isn't. She is hurting. She is hurting a big time. And Jasmine was like, okay, yeah, I guess this is done and dusted, huh? This is done and dusted. Yeah, it's done and dusted, Jasmine. Jasmine, girl, you know this girl is lying to you. You could see it all written over her face that she's pressed. She's absolutely pressed. Yet she's standing here in front of you saying she's unbothered. Meanwhile, Catherine is over there telling Ollie, well, that's good. I'm glad you happy with Demi, because if you're happy, I'm happy. And Ollie is over there looking like this. Like I said, the words say one thing, the facial expressions, the feet, the body language, everything else says something completely different. Demi Trumbull, I'm trying not to give jealousy vibes. Girl, too late, too late, too late. The jealousy vibes are written all over you. You can't shake them. You can't shake them. Meanwhile, you got Catherine and Ollie over here flirting. Well, Catherine, if the only reason you were coming over here to Ollie was to confront him on the fact that he lied on you, why now are you talking about, do I look the way you thought I would look? Fishing for compliments. Why now are you talking about that you think he's good looking? Why are we going here? Why is this a conversation? You came over to tell him about himself, about lying on you. You saved your reputation. You did everything you said, prove you're not a liar. Why are you still here? Because that wasn't the only point of coming. And the other part that I don't like about Catherine is that you were supposed to be such good friends with Demi. Why haven't you had a conversation with her? Why haven't you gone over and put her at ease? You see, because I thought these two were such good chummy friends in the past, but now here they are. All of a sudden now they're not even talking to each other. What happened? What happened? If all that was real, what happened? Because none of it was real. All that friendship stuff going on in the pods, none of it was real. It was about keeping your enemies close, keeping an eye on your enemies because I'm in competition. That's what it was about. That's exactly what it was about. Demi was trying to pretend like she wanted to be friends with Catherine, putting Catherine's head on her shoulder and all that kind of stuff. But Demi knew from the very beginning she was in competition with Catherine. Now here they are at this beach party, and now Demi can't even remember Catherine's name. Girl. And then right before they're about to depart, what does old Catherine do? Just to rile up the jealousy meter a little bit more for Freddie and for Demi, because she knows everybody's watching. She goes in and says, do you want to hug it out, Ollie? Why don't you give me a hug? Girl, the disrespect to Freddie. The disrespect to Freddie. The disrespect to the girl she said she was such good friends with, Demi. The disrespect. And the disrespect of Ollie. I tell you this, after that meeting that they had on that couch between Catherine and Ollie, another thing that I didn't like was I didn't like the fact that Ollie didn't return to Demi. Didn't return to her. Which meant he had the conversation with Catherine and he never came over to reassure Demi that everything was okay. He went off to a whole nother table, started having a whole nother conversation with someone else. That someone else being Bobby. The one thing about Bobby is Bobby knows the truth. Bobby says he was watching. He saw Catherine's eyes on Ollie. He saw Catherine's eyes doing everything. And Bobby read it from the very beginning. Him and Jasmine have been reading it from the very, very beginning. And even when Ollie had to sit down with Bobby, left his own woman to go have a conversation with Bobby so he could explain what he was feeling. And what he was feeling was that he felt he made the wrong choice. That's what he was feeling, but he couldn't say it. He just said, oh, interesting decision. Boy, interesting in what kind of way? Christine wandered on over back to find Freddie and said, oh, yeah, I cleared it up. He admitted that he lied. Girl, this ego is so huge. This ego is bigger than Find Freddie's chest. It's huge. It's huge. I actually don't even really think that Demi is interested in Ollie. I think what Catherine was doing was to make Freddie jealous. And I think it was also to get under the skin of Demi. And I think it was to flirt with Ollie. I think Catherine is a game player. I think this is the role she's used to playing, and she's playing it now. And like I said before, I think Find Freddie got her shook. I think she got her shook. It's got her feelings that she needs to gain control back in this relationship. That's what I think. By this time, this is when Nicole done wandered in, and this is when the whole thing happened, and they all got to meet, and Nicole's so happy. And we figure out Nicole done cheated the system, because love is supposed to be blind. But what Nicole did was Nicole was like, I ain't doing nothing blind because looks are important to me. And I'm going to see the first guy. If I like him, I'm going to move to the second guy. So in a lot of ways, I just feel like Nicole cheated the whole program because love is supposed to be blind. But Nicole isn't here on blind love. She's here on love she actually got to see, and she got to pick on that. But you know what? Hey, it is what it is. It seems as if we're going to get this every single year, that someone's going to cheat the system. And this year it was Nicole. And while she's going on and on how happy she is, and everybody talking about how happy they are, we got Demi over here blowing air out because she's like, dang, my experience is not like everyone else's. The most I can get is a cuddle. The most I can get is a cuddle. And who knows how long that cuddle is lasting. It may not be lasting too long. I mean, after Ollie had that conversation with Catherine, and he was standing at the table by himself because he had to gather himself because he knew that his mind was all twisted up from that meeting. He's standing over there by himself. Jasmine had to tell Demi, why your man over there by himself? Girl, go on over there and get your man. She was like, go on over there and get your man because you about to lose him. You are losing him fast. Jasmine can read the writing on the wall. She can read it on the wall. She over here trying to coach Demi on what to do. She need to take some lessons for Jasmine. She really does. Jasmine has been giving her good advice all along, all season long, and she don't be taking no advice. But when Jasmine told her, go on over there and talk to your man, don't let your man sit over there by himself, she went right over there and started talking to him. But guess what? He didn't want to talk to her. He absolutely didn't want to talk to her. He don't want to have the conversation because he knows if he has the conversation, he's going to have to start lying. He's not going to be able to tell her the truth. And just like when they finally got back to that bedroom, that hotel room later that night, he had the audacity to ask Demi, what's wrong with you? Why your lip poked out? Why is my lip poked out? He tried to act like it was just an ordinary day in Corfu, Greece, and there should be no reason why Demi is in her feelings. Boy, unbelievable, unbelievable. He tried to gaslight Demi to make Demi believe it's something wrong with her, that everything she's feeling, everything she's seeing is all a figment of her imagination, and that nothing's going on. He's not interested in Catherine. He's not attracted to Catherine, when we all know that's false because he actually admitted it to Bobby. But he's over here saying one thing to Demi and one thing to Bobby, and his feet are telling us a whole nother set of things. Oh my goodness. And if everybody thinks this is all over the fact that Demi's just insecure and that's what's turned Ollie off, y'all are wrong. Y'all are wrong, wrong, wrong. Bobby tried to tell Ollie he was wrong, that he should be reassuring his wife. He ain't listening. Jasmine tried to tell. Jasmine said, I'm going to have a conversation with Ollie. I told you that Jasmine, she runs to the drama. She don't run away from it. I don't know how she gonna handle Bobby being on the cruise ship for 6 months. I don't know. Something's gonna have to change with that. Something's gonna have to change because Jasmine don't strike me as the person who's gonna be comfortable with her man away for 6 months out of the year on a cruise ship with a bunch of other single, good-looking women on the cruise ship. I don't see it. I don't see it one bit. Not one bit. But Jasmine says, I'm gonna get into this. I guess we're gonna see that next week. She gonna confront Ollie, and Ollie's not listening to Bobby. Bobby tried to tell him what the right thing to do. And Jasmine said, yeah, because let me tell you something, Bobby. You wouldn't be able to disrespect me like that. She says, you would not be able to disrespect me the way that Ollie has disrespected Demi. And she's so hot about it. She says, I'm going to confront him. He ain't even my man, and I'm going to confront him. The bedroom action with Demi and Ollie so dry. Demi sitting up there reading a book. Reading a book. Girl, you talk about rated PG. We at G. We are at rated G when you sit up there reading a book on your somewhat of a honeymoon in Corfu, Greece. But Ollie was probably like, you can keep on reading that book because I don't want to talk about things anyway. Let's just go to bed. Let's just go to bed. I don't want to talk. I'm tired of lying. I've been lying so much. I just want to stop lying for a while. Can we just not talk about it? She's like, no, I want to talk about it. We need to talk about it. He goes, okay, that's fine. You want me to start lying again? Girl, my eyes are only on you. You're the only one I want. You're the only one I love. I'm not even thinking of Catherine. There you go. Is that good enough for you, Demi? Is that enough lies for you, Demi, at this point in time? What's the old saying? You want the truth? You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. You ain't even handling these lies. I'm telling you these lies and you're still insecure. Now you really want me to tell you the truth? Girl, you will be sliding down this wall if I told you the real truth. That's what Ollie's thinking. You can't handle the truth, Demi. Not at all. You can't handle it. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and watch episode 5. So after I watch it, I'll be right back here. I hope y'all join me for I'm going to be watching episode 6. This was 5. I'm going to be watching episode 6. So I hope you guys will join me right back here for episode 6. Talk to y'all later. Bye.